are now live again YouTube. So, welcome to our pre-bid conference. So, before we start, I call on Engineer Kenny Mansueto to do the prayer.
Let's put ourselves in the holy presence of the Lord. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our sins, as we forgive those who sin against us. And bring us not us, but deliver us from evil. Amen. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.
Okay, so good afternoon once again. So, online na naman tayo. So, we have a pre-bid conference for these 7 contract IDs. And for the back members, maybe all present, like kaninang morning, di ko na tatawagin. And then for the construction bidders, contractors firm, we have 5 participating bidders are present this afternoon. We will start on LBRO Construction, Hazel Cajes, Rajes Cajes. Okay. Rebecca Najiba Construction Development, Laarni Husga. For ERQ Builders, isa ni siya. Ernie Dumalin? Dumin, okay. So next is RRT Builders. Van Cleef Andre apelido Hamboy. Okay. Hamboy. Okay. Hamoy. Hamboy. Okay. Next is RDY Builders Construction. Kinsa ni siya? Si Juicer John Y. Sorda? Soreda. Okay. May maraming bago dito Hmm. Okay, so welcome for this pre-bidding conference. Okay. Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so we will now start for the um, pre-bid will by Engineer Salera, one of our planning engineers.
Traffic. Mo na iyahang pinaka-typical section. So, pakita na to dito na na itay existing, newly completed na siya. So, ato siyang sumpayan. So, na tayo schedule. Unsa ato ang dagway sa ato ang project dito. So, na-detail ta sa ato ang traffic management and the billboard. So, mo na siya ang sa contract ID 116. Then for 117, same category. Flood control gap or flood mitigation structure. Then construction of flood mitigation structure, Barangay Tejero. So sa Tejero na pod. So silingan ra sila nga barangay, tupad lang no. Padilla is the upper portion, then the lower portion is Barangay Tejero. So same siya, ato siya tanawon lang diri sa DED plans sa SAD. Sila sa sa next contract ha kay murag wala makapi na ko diri ang sa Tejero. So ato lang nimo siyang balikan. So Guadalupe lang sa ta 23HH0118 same ABC gyapon 4.95. So for the plan, so ang Guadalupe has have two sites identified by this office and end user. So number one na site na to is kung ka-familiar mo sa Guadalupe Church, no? So naa diha naay kung padung ka sa Guadalupe Church, naa sa right side, naay padung ubos diha naa sa Guadalupe River, then murag subdivision na siya, more or less ato ang area but kuan na siya, right of way na siya or LGU maintained na siya nga kuan nga dalan. So diha dapita, and the second one is inside sa Banawa Elementary School. So agita o Quijada Street atbang sa Barangay Hall. So kanang nga dalan pinakatumoy na before moabot sa Monterazas na diha ang sa Banawa nga eskwelahan. So sulod siya no. Nasa sulod ang ato ang project site. So the summary of quantities consists gyapon same lang gyapon na atay combined field office, nagapon tay permits and clearances, na tay billboard, safety and health, nagapon tay traffic management, especially kani kay naa sa sud eskwelahan ra ba. So naay mga estudyante, mga bata. So we need to provide good sufficient good nga mga safety kuan good measures no. So we have the mobilization. Then, naa siya yung mga items of work nga need nato, just like pipe culverts, sa ato ang outfall, then metal frames and gratings with different dimensions. Then, we have also a removal of structures and obstruction. Then, naatay reinforcing steel and structural concrete for the box type line canal, the excavation, so natay gamay embankment para sa ato ang RCPC, sa restoration. Then we have manholes and concrete covers. So inana ato ang mga typical lang gihapon, mga box type nga drainage. So natay mga details sa manholes, sa steel gratings, sa concrete covers. So naara tayo mga details no, makita ra nato pud sa DED plans. So mo proceed sa ako sa 23HH0123. OO1 ensures safe and reliable national road system, network development, construction of bypass and diversion roads, Mambaling South Boulevard, Cebu City. So its project description is a construction of slope protection structure, a component sa ato ang road nato with an ABC of 96.5 million and a contract duration of 288 calendar days. So mo ni ang naay na pre-bid po previously last week, naay kuan sa changes sa approved budget for the contract. So ato to siyang na-cancel, then we need to um, um, we need to re-upload or to reissue nato sa ato ang invitation to bid. So kani siya no, mo ni atong plan sa MSB. Sige. So this is the plan. Ayan. So this is the entire alignment of the Mambaling South Boulevard, but nag-focus ta diri dapita sa may Barangay Mambaling, which atong gi-prioritize ang slope protection structure. So ang pinaka main items of work niya is only ang steel sheet pile and the pile cap. Hinay man. Loading kayo. So this is the summary of quantities. So same gyapon to no. Naatay field office with its corresponding quantity, 9.6 months. Then we have the provision of communication facility for the engineer. So naata diha, nara sa specs, makita nato. Just approach no our planning and design section for the details nato sa specification. Then also naatay permits and clearances, project billboard, safety and health program, mobilization. So natay craneway to be provided kay nang lantaw access dito sa ato mga heavy equipments. Then kining reinforcing steel and the structural concrete is mo ni ang consist sa ato ang pile cap nato. Then we have the structural steel sheet pile, the furnished, and the driven. So mo ray pinaka main item na or major item which is the sheet pile. So I'll show you na lang sa yang typical no. Okay. So inani siya. So mo ni ang pinaka entirety sa Mambaling South Boulevard. This is a 4-lane road and a boardwalk. So dirita dapita, nata dirita dapita mag-construct. So in preparation ni siya nga mga component sa ato ang roadway pohon na sa mga succeeding year nato nga funds. So dirita nag-focus karon sa kining steel sheet pile. So I think that's all for the Mambaling South Boulevard. So balik ta sa katong 23HH0117, the construction of flood mitigation Barangay Tejero, Cebu City. So Engineer Mitchell Barwell will be discussing the said project.
Good afternoon, everyone. Contract ID 23HH0117. Contract name, Convergence and Special Support Program, Basic Infrastructure Program, or BIP. Flood mitigation structure protecting public infrastructure facilities. Construction of flood mitigation structure located at Barangay Tejero, Cebu City, Cebu. ABC na oh, wait, calendar days of 124. The net length of this project is 385, composing of 6 different lines. The summary of quantities of this project, basically, provision of combined field office, permits and clearances, project billboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization, demobilization, removal of structures, 66 cubic meters, structural concrete, 120 cubic meters, reinforcing steel, 8,133 kilograms, metal frames and gratings for the line 1, 2, and 3 covers, 99 set. For line 4 cover, 5 set. Line canal 5 cover, 22 set. And for the manhole, which is 0.9 by 0.9, 15 sets. For 1.1 by 1.1 meters, which is for manhole 2, 2 sets. And for 1.4 by 1.4 manhole number 3 cover is 1 set. For the cross drainage cover, the size of it is 6 by 0.5 meters, 3 sets. And for the 5 by 0.5 meter cover, 1. And for the replacement covers, which is zero point 0.3 by zero point 0.5 meters, 88 sets. For the curb and gutter precast, 165 pieces. Pipe culvert and drain excavation, 137 cubic meters. And for manhole, 13 each. Manhole number 2, 2 each. And for manhole number 3, 3 each. This also includes inlets, which is 54 each. The main scope of work of this project is the reconstruction of drainage line, which is located at line 1 and line 2 with a length of 105 meters and 64 meters. For line 3 is also a new construction of drainage line, which will be connected to the adjacent line 1. The dimension of this new construction of drainage will be zero point 0.5 by zero point 0.5 zero point 0.5 clear width, and depth will be zero point 0.5. For line 4 is also construction of new drainage line, but for lines wait uh, but this section here, this will be the replacement of new cover from concrete to steel grating. Diri sa Dapita is the reconstruction of, replacement of steel grating covers from concrete cross drainage cover to steel grating covers. The main problem, ang pinaka-problema diri nga area is, ari usually na area magpond ang water. Kay sa diri na side, ang runoff gikan sa diri nga area, ari padong diri. So, mahog og magkawa siya diri. So ang ginabuhat sa office is ang sa diri na line up to here, ang existing nga concrete cover nila is atong gina replace og steel grate, and the existing cross drainage atong gina replace na pod og steel grating. So sa as far sa atong project concern, same raman gyapon na ang mga typical details sa manhole. So kanila lang ang gipakita. So, maura ni. Thank you. Wala na ko na. Hide na ko ni, sir. Ang flow sa water is from here to here. Tapos, ang sa dali na side is na ay portion nga ari mo flow, pero ato siyang gina-divert, sir. Ato siyang gina-sod dari para matagak dari, para ari sa dari mato mahog dari padong sa may buyon sa kuan bitaw, sir. Federal na side na highway padong ti Padilla nga street. Pero most likely ang outfall sa kaning nga site nato is ari na dagan diri sa atong Tejero nga creek. Padong naman ni siya sa Tejero. Na-hide lang ang label. So that will be all. Kisa next. Yes. Come on. This one. Okay. Next will be the for the road construction.
Hello. Okay, so to continue, no, we have contract ID 23HH0119, road concreting, Barangay Guba, Cebu City, and its approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000 pesos to be completed in 105 calendar days. So to discuss further, I'll be showing here the detailed engineering design plan. So for this project, the station limits identified is coming from kilometer 20 plus 700 to kilometer 20 plus 974 with a net length of 274 meters. So as you can see here on the second page, this is the road alignment, no? Kini sa Barangay Agsukot side up to Guba Hospital, iyang landmark. So this is the formation of the road, di ba? And then we have here the existing condition of the road. So na siya asfalto daan, and then we have to remove it and replace with a Portland cement concrete pavement type. So for those who are not quite familiar of this place, we have indicated here also the coordinates. So pwede niyo mabutan sa inyong smartphones. For the start, we have the latitude and longitude, and as well as endpoint niya, na po yung latitude and longitude. So here also is a representation, map representation, taken from the Google Maps, no, na screenshot. So kining na alignment na rin, na linya, na polyline with a curve. This is our project alignment. Okay? So doon siya sa Barangay Hall sa Guba. Okay. So for the summary of quantities, first we have the general requirements, which are composed of the provision of the combined field office, katong permits and clearances nato na payment, project billboard, composing of the DPWH and COA billboards, and then occupational safety and health program, mga PPEs nato for our workers on site, traffic management, mobilization, demobilization. And then for the civil works, earthworks first, we have the excavation, item 1022, roadway embankment from roadway excavation, item 1041A, subgrade preparation prior to the placement of item 201, that is the aggregate sub-base course. And then our wearing surface, ang pinaka-major scope of work nato, that is the Portland cement concrete pavement with a thickness of 200 millimeter thick, and its curing period is 2 weeks or 14 days. And then we also have item 404, 405, reinforcing steel, grade 40, structural concrete, 3,000 psi or 21 megapascals. And then for the drainage component, natay pipe culvert for the cross drain, 36 inches in diameter, slope protection, stone masonry for cubic meters, and other miscellaneous item include the concrete curb, no, precast, 500 pieces. So these are the general notes and specifications for each item. And then I'll be showing here the typical road section. So varying atong width sa atong dalan, 5 meters to 6 meters. And then we have a road shoulder on the left side, and then nepotay ditch, no? Open ditch. And then on the right side, we have this proposed drainage. So the item for this drainage is item 404 or 405, katong atong gibulag, no? Ayang material type. And then in here also, mo ni atong concrete curb, which shall serve as protection for the vehicles from going over to the open canal. Para dili ta mabuwasot katong magdalag sa kinan or motor. So that is the purpose for this item. So here, another typical section on the left side, showing here katong protection, no, against slope failure. So nag-introduce ta og stone masonry on the left side. Okay. So I hope naka-follow ran tanan, no? That is for our Guba Road Concreting project. So to proceed, we have contract ID 23HH0120, Road concreting, Barangay San Jose, Cebu City. Project description is the same, road construction, PCCP type pavement, and the approved budget for the contract is 4,950,000 pesos, also to be completed in 105 calendar days. Sorry. Okay, so this is the plan for Barangay San Jose Road Concreting Project. So there are two sections identified. So 8 plus 600 to 8 plus 720, and the other one is 8 plus 500 to 8 plus 530. And the total length for this project is 150 meters. So mo ni siya, no? Two sections but continuous lang gyapon ni siya. Nakat lang tungod we have this intersection here. Okay? So this is the current situation. So guba na lang dalan pod. We have to remove this existing dilapidated pavement. Mura siya asphalto pero na kuan na siya, na wash out na siya. So kuono na nato. Oops. Okay. So here also mga coordinates pwede nato i-input, no, para matultulan going to the project site if you will be conducting the actual site verification or validation. So through Google Maps, so landmarks identified, katong St. Michael Chapel, Adoration Sisters of the Whole Face of Jesus, mo na ang kuan. Dol-duol niya na kuan, landmarks na to. Okay. So for the summary of quantities, almost the same, no? Nag-differ lang siyang quantity. So we have first the general requirements, combined field office, permits, clearances, billboards, safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization, demobilization. And then, napatay other item that, for the general requirement. This is the removal and relocation of utilities, removal and reinstallation of 6 pieces 610 millimeter diameter RCPC, and other civil works item include the surplus common excavation, 732 cubic meters, embankment, subgrade preparation, aggregate sub-base course, and then syempre, still the major item for this project is the Portland cement concrete pavement, but the thickness is 230 millimeter thick, and then cured at 14 days, no? 2 weeks yung curing period. So these are the notes, specifications per item. And then this is the typical section. 230 millimeter thick ang atong semento. And then beneath it is the aggregate sub-base course, 150 millimeter thick. And then other earthworks item 105, subgrade preparation. Syempre, we have also this excavation. Okay, so I hope naka-follow na, no, for this project at Barangay Jose Road Concreting. So to proceed, next we have a farm to market road project to be discussed by Engineer Ruby. Sure.
Good afternoon, everyone. I will be discussing the scope of work for the concreting of Barangay Pamutan, FMR, Barangay Pamutan, Cebu City, Cebu. So for this project, we have the contract ID 23HH0121 with an ABC of 14,925,000 and a contract duration of 210 calendar days. So for this project, we have two sections, station 8 plus 800 to 9 plus 301.5, and section 2 of station 9 plus 477.5 to 9 plus 727.3 with a net length of 751.3 meters. And then for this project, um, if you can see here, our project is sandwiched between existing road, existing concrete roads here in the barangay. For the location, we have here the location map. It is somewhere here near the barangay hall. And then for the summary of quantities, for the items of work, we have here the combined field office, the permits and clearances, the project billboard, occupational safety and health program, the traffic management, mobilization, demobilization, and the civil works, surplus common excavation, pipe culvert and drain excavation that will serve as the cross drain, and then embankment from roadway excavation, subgrade preparation, aggregate sub-base course, and then the main work, the PCCP of 200 mm thick with 14 days curing time. And then we have here item 404, reinforcing steel, and item 405, 183, structural concrete for the construction of line canal. And then we have here the pipe culvert for the cross drain. And then we have here manhole of 910 millimeter diameter for the catch basin. And we have here metal frames and grating, 1.21 meter by zero point 0.8 meter as the manhole cover. And we have here concrete curb that will serve as um, protection from the canal side. And we have here the metal guardrail as protection to the cliff side. So here are the technical specs and construction requirements. So here is the typical road section. Uh, on the left side, we have here the proposed open line canal. This is beside the mountain side. Meanwhile, on the right side, we have here the item metal guardrail as protection for the cliff side. Since for this one, we have here the cliff side whenever there is a metal guardrail, and then on the other side is the open line canal for those on the mountain side. So that is all for this project. So for the next project, uh, Engineer Deloria will discuss this one.
So for the good afternoon. So for the next project with contract ID 23HH0122 with the project name Convergence and Special Support Program Sustainable Infrastructure Projects Alleviating Gaps, Access Roads or bridges from the national roads leading to major strategic public buildings, facilities, construction of road, barangay to Pardo Toong, Cebu City. So with an ABC of 72,375,000 and contract duration 237 calendar days. So for this project, the station limits is station 7 plus 600 to station 7 plus 950 with a net length of 350. So here is the actual photos of the project and the coordinates. Latitude and longitude, coordinates of end, and you can search it on Google Maps. So as you can see here, the actual condition is the the soil have already scoured. So for the vicinity map, the near landmarks near the project is the Alta Vista Golf and Country Club, the Splendor Hill subdivision along Asna Road. So for the summary of quantities, for the general requirements, provision of combined field office, laboratory, and living quarters building for the engineer, 7.9. Permits and clearances, project billboard, signboard, occupational safety and health program, traffic management, mobilization, demobilization, and surplus common excavation with 10,001 cubic meters. Subgrade preparation, 5,001 square meters. Aggregate subbase scores, 1,001 cubic meters. For the PCCP, uh, unreinforced, 0.3 meters thick for 14 days, 5,001 square meters. Reinforcing steel, grade 40, 36,145 kilograms. Structural concrete, 295 cubic meters. Stone masonry, 2,177. Concrete curb, precast, 292 pieces. Metal guardrail, including post, 350 linear meter. So here are the general notes and technical specification, construction requirements. So here is the typical roadway section of the project. So in here, it is with a carriageway width of 13.4 all throughout with a thickness of zero point 0.3 PCCP and zero point 0.2 thick sub-base course. And on the right side is the reinforced line canal composed of item 404 and 405. And with it, beside it is the item 605 concrete curb precast pave shoulder. Yes, sir. Yes. The major scope of work of this project is more on excavation. It's more on excavation. Yes, sir. Wala pa ko yan. Wala na ako na-appeal. Pero supposed to be, sa left side niya, sir, napod stone masonry and the guardrails. So, wala na ako siya na-appeal sa... Mm. So I'll be showing you the POW. Yes, sir. Next. Hanap po yung bankment. Huwag na. 10,000, sir. Na-hide. Na-hide na ako. Sige, sir. Consider to, sir. Sige, sir. I think that's all for the 23-10122.
Okay, so any questions before we proceed sa mga reminders sa prospective bidders? Concern? Questions? Wala? So, i-play na namo ron ang mga reminders. So, as part of the bidding, part of the pre-bid, mga reminders for you to listen. Okay? For you to comply also during by the time sa bidding, opening sa bids.
Good morning once again. For the additional information for the bidders, for the documents to be submitted, these following requirements will be discussed in the preparation of the documents. First, for the technical proposal, the basic eligibility requirement during the submission of bids in the field JEPs, the field JEP certificate of registration and membership must be current and updated in accordance with the provisions of the IRR. And its registration is proper and relevant to the particular type of procurement. In lieu of the Class A eligibility documents uploaded and maintained current and updated in the field JEPs. Bidders are required to submit their field JEPs certificate of registration during bid submission. Next, if ang bidder is not enrolled in CWA, the bidder must attach validated pickup license and registration, statement of all ongoing and completed government and private contracts, including contracts awarded but not yet started, whether or not similar in nature and complexity to the contract to be bid within the period provided in the bidding documents given emphasis as per Department Order number 36 series of 2615. For this, strong emphasis is given to this matter since this will be strictly revalidated and checked upon during the detailed bid evaluation. Non-compliance of this is subjected for sanction per DO number 17 series of 2015 under the three-strike policy report. Next, statement of single largest completed contract or SLCC, similar to the contract to be bid at least 50% of the ABC. Net financial contracting capacity or NFCC, computation and statement of total assets and liabilities. Next is the mayor's permit or business permit must be present. Tax clearance, audited financial statement, duly received by BIR at least 2 years from bidding date, income tax return or ITR. Next is for DTI for sole proprietorship and CDA for cooperatives. For a corporation, there should be a secretary's certificate or board resolution duly notarized indicating the authorized and designated signing official. Next, JVA, if applicable, which requires special pickup license and registration with percentage of two contractors. For the bid security, the contractor can choose among the applicable forms of bid security, which the duration is 120 calendar days per RA 9184. The bidder shall submit a bid security declaration or any form of bid security in an amount not less than the required percentage of the ABC in accordance with the following schedule. Cash or cashier's check issued by the Universal of Commercial Bank, which is 2%. Now, bank draft guarantee or a revocable letter of credit issued by a Universal or Commercial Bank, provided, however, that it shall be confirmed and authenticated by a Universal or Commercial Bank if issued by a foreign bank, which is 2%, surety bond upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security, which is 5%. Any discrepancy in the amount even a centavo means non-compliant. If the validated exceeds 120 calendar days, the contractor should renew and submit a new bid securing declaration or BSD, considering that all legal, technical, and financial documents should still be valid during award. Number 4, bid security in prescribed form for the amount and validity period. For project requirements, the bidders should attach the organizational chart for the contract to be bid, including the list of contractors' key personnel to be assigned to the contract with their complete qualification data and affidavit of commitment to work on the project of the contractor's key technical personnel, which there must be no duplication of key functions wherein assignments of several projects of key personnel is strongly discouraged because it was found out that some contractors have one project engineer with multiple ongoing contract projects. The 5 key technical personnel must have experience similar to the contract project to be bid at least 50% of ABC, or as follows: project manager is not necessary a licensed civil engineer. However, the experience should have minimum of 5 years experience of same position and 3 years experience of similar position. Project engineer must be duly licensed civil engineer, should be current and updated with a minimum of 5 years experience of same position, 3 years experience of similar position. For the materials engineer, must be a licensed civil engineer with minimum of 5 years experience of same position, 3 years experience of similar position, duly DPWH accredited materials and quality control engineer. Foreman with minimum of 5 years experience of same position and 2 years experience of similar position. For the safety and health officer with a certificate duly accredited by DOLE as safety officer. The bidder should have a safety officer 3 or SO3 regardless of amount and category, wherein the requirements and appointment, designation, and job description as safety officer. If the company doesn't have a safety officer, they should attach a pledge of commitment to undertake trainings for 48 hours. Additional info, they were advised not to manufacture the experience of their key technical personnel just to suit with the requirements. All the licenses and credentials of the key technical personnel must be current and updated. These attachments should be visible and have a clear copy. The BAC advised that the pledged project engineer for the project should not be conflicting with other projects, considering that the supervision will be difficult, and this is one of the reasons that will cause negative slippage. A project engineer can handle within the same jurisdiction but outside is quite questionable for his capacity to supervise. List of contractors, major construction, and lab equipment units owned, leased, or under purchase agreements must be supported by proof of ownership or lease or purchase and certification of availability of equipment from lessor, vendor for project duration. Certification of minimum laboratory equipment duly certified by any DPWH office as per DO number 80, series of 1990, and reiterated for strict compliance as per DO number 138, series of 2015, DO 11, series of 2017, to ensure that the said certification is current and updated, which has only 1 year validity and still subject for post-qualification. Construction Safety and Health Program for DO 129, series of 2014. The preparation of the Safety and Health Program is component of the technical proposal as per department order, of which the limitation is one safety officer within limited jurisdiction on the limits not exceeding 50 million. However, per project must have one first aider, and it is not necessarily approved considering that this will be resubmitted if they will be awarded to the project. The compliance of construction safety and health is now a law as per Republic Act 11058 dated August 2018. The safety officer 3 should be on site since this is one of the requirements during inspection of the personnel from DOLE. There will be a penalty if the safety officer is not around during the inspection of DOLE. The company should also conduct monthly, quarterly, yearly report as one of the OSH requirement in construction industry. The bidders were advised to prepare their own construction safety and health program. For the omnibus sworn statement in the form, the omnibus sworn statement has 9 items. They should comply with a standard form wherein, in the absence of one item, it will be rated as failed. For the affidavit of site inspection, inspection of the project site is encouraged in order to validate the site prior to dropping of bids to avoid future problem, because the contractor has the responsibility to complete the project once awarded to them. For the financial proposal, this must be included also the bid form, the bid prices in the bill of quantities, detailed estimates including a summary sheet indicating the unit prices of construction materials, labor rates, and equipment rentals used in coming up with the bid. So mo na ang dapat sa inyong detailed no, naagid na diha ang materials, ang labor o ang material. Ang lamsam na to no, mo na atong gikuan po before, di mo gid malikayan ang lamsam no kay per item naaman ang lamsam. Usually nani sa mga building na nga projects maka duol lang gid mo sa planning, pwede mo mangayo og breakdown sa lamsam no for kuan po na siya for smooth implementation sa project no. So makaduol ra gid mo unsay suot sa lamsam kay di man pare sa ubang item nga per square naa na dayon no kay per square man lamsam compromise pa nagdaghan kay materials. So quarterly, monthly cash flow and payment schedule must be present also in the financial proposal. Failure to attach any requirement or any missing, incomplete, or patently insufficient documents in the above mentioned is a ground for outright rejection for the bid and will fall as non-compliant. All documents to be submitted must be current and updated, otherwise it will be rated as failed. The technical and financial proposal must be in A4 size. Mo na itong standard sa atong bid documents. Well paginated with duly authorized signatures and book-bounded to avoid insertion. Further, the authorized liaison officer will be the one to drop the bids. The bidders will also advise to be responsible to their bid submitted in accordance with the checklist, and their technical and financial proposals should have proper pagination based on the number or order if the checklist including proper sequencing of documents. Their submitted documents should be done accordingly. If the legal A documents are attached, much better. However, if the documents are expired, attach receipt of proof that the renewal is on process. The bid documents of the bidders must follow the completeness of the bid, both in form and substance. The bidders were advised not to recycle legal documents of documents attached in the previous submission of bids which have signatures and countersigns of the back members. It must be all original signatures attesting certified copies. Affidavits must be original signature. For the joint venture, whatever guidelines complied by one bidder should also be complied by the other bidder. For example, if one has a PhilJEPS registration, then the other one should also attach their PhilJEPS registration. Leaving blanks on the bid proposal for the unit bid price of total cost per item is considered failed except indicated as zero or which is understood as free to the government. Bidders with lowest bid during the opening of bid is not a guarantee to be awarded. Why? Kay subject for evaluation pa man ang inyong gidrop. All bid documents are still subject for bid evaluation and post-qualification prior to be declared as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. The bidders are given 3 days upon bidding for file for a motion for reconsideration. The BAC emphasized on the deadline of the receipt by the BAC of bids, which is 10 a.m. only as stipulated in the invitation of bid. Kung mulapas na sa 10 a.m., so dili na makadrop ang bidders. No, ato ginang gistrikto og maayo, i-close na nato ang atong hulganan diri beyond 10 a.m. in the morning. For the criteria and procedure for eligibility check, preliminary examination of bids, detailed evaluation of bids, post-qualification and award. The BAC will determine the eligibility of the bidders based on the PhilJEPS registration on their legal aid documents, which should be maintained current and updated, including that of the Civil Works application or the CWA, which focuses on the NFCC, work experience of single largest completed contract, similar to the contract project for bidding at hand. The BAC will ascertain based on the checklist of the required documents to be submitted using pass or fail criterion during the preliminary and detailed bid evaluation. In addition, after the opening of bids as per 2016 revised implementing rules and regulation under section 32.2, the BAC will conduct a detailed bid evaluation of all the bids using non-discretionary criteria wherein it requires the completeness of bid. Bids not addressing or providing all the required items in the bidding documents, including, where applicable, bill of quantities, shall be considered non-responsive and thus automatically disqualified. In this regard, where a required item is provided but no price is indicated, the same shall be considered as not responsive, but specifying a zero or a dash for the said item would mean that it is being offered for free of the government, except those required by law or regulations to be provided for. In case of discrepancies between bid prices and figures and in words, the latter shall prevail, no? Ang words ang mo prevail. Total price per item and unit price for the item as extended or multiplied by the quantity of that item. Unit cost in the detailed estimate and unit cost in the bill of quantities, the same will be applied to the detailed checking evaluation of the technical. The same will be applied no, sa katong checking evaluation of the proposal. When the bidder, rated as the lowest calculated bidder, will undergo post-qualification. Once post-qualified, the bidder will be determined as lowest calculated responsive bid and subsequently to be awarded for the contract. All bidders are of equal footing thereby. Bidders are advised to include all taxes, other fiscal and duties as mandated by law in all items of work which details are shown in the detailed estimates. For the post-qualification, the bidders were advised to read Department Order number 127, Series 2018, and other issuances relative to this matter, since the BAC will be very keen and strict on the conduct of post-qualification process, considering that the concerned officials or employees, including the concerned BAC members, will be liable to the administrative penalties if this directive will not be followed. As per DO number 127, the contractor will not be awarded with a certain project if it has a negative slippage of at least 15% in a single contract or at least 10% in 2 or more contracts. During post-qualification, even though the contractor is the lowest bidder, still it is subject for further verification to ensure the compliance of the requirements of the contract. With that, the office will be sending a letter being the lowest calculated bid, which within 5 days from the receipt of notice, the bidder must submit the latest income and business tax return and other appropriate licenses, permits, and other legal documents required and stated in the bidding document and as stipulated in the said communication. If not complied within 5 days, the next calculated lowest bidder will be notified. So, you're only given 5 days, no? On the other hand, the office will be sending a letter of inquiry on the committed failure on the bidding at hand. Thus, this communication must be acted upon the contractor on the required time frame. Otherwise, without action taken, it will be relatively resort to sanction, which will fall on the three-strike policy, which a tantamount of blacklisting, suspension of the contractor. If the bidder will commit 3 mistakes in a year, then they will be recommended for further sanctions. Moreover, the qualification and experience of the key technical personnel is subject for verification as part of the post-qualification process. They are allowed to replace their key personnel technical, which they have to write a letter 14 days prior to the proposed replacement duly approved by the HOPE of the office. The BAC will be strict on the compliance of the equipment as part of post-qualification. No, it is stated as per DO number 127 series 2018. The contractor can attach in the proposal the list of equipment or agreement to purchase or proposal to rent or agreement on the delivery of the equipment so that the contractor will be assessed as compliant in terms of equipment requirement. The OR and CR must be present, no? Also, it must be current and updated, not expired. The equipment should be calibrated and ESTA accredited, and the registration should be current and updated. Whatever is stipulated in the BDS should be followed. An inspection will be conducted on the verification of equipment during other documents to be evaluated. Also, to be verified during post-qualification is the set of equipment pledged by the bidder. The bidder should in the submitted bid location of the equipment, where they can be inspected. Ang atong TWG members kay mo inspected na sa inyong equipment pledge, no? If any piece of equipment is not in the specified location, then the bidder shall be post disqualified as per Department Order Number 9, Series of 2012. 10 calendar days upon receipt of the NOA or Notice of Award, the contractor must comply the following. Notice of award with the bidders signed for a joint venture, contractor's pickup license, special joint venture license, and joint venture agreement. Performance security in any of the forms specified in the instruction of bidders. The performance security shall be in the amount not less than the required percentage of the total contract price in accordance with the following schedule. Cash or cashier's manager's check issued by Universal or Commercial Bank, which is 10%. Bank draft or guarantee or a revocable letter of credit issued by Universal or Commercial Bank, provided, however, that it shall be confirmed or authenticated by a Universal or Commercial Bank if issued by a foreign bank, which is 10%. Surety bond callable upon demand issued by a surety or insurance company duly certified by the Insurance Commission as authorized to issue such security, which is 30%. No? So, ang sa inyong construction methods, kay nabotay form, no, follow lang ta sa form. Ang construction schedule in the form of per CPM diagram or precedence diagram and bar chart with S-curve, cash flow. Contractors all risk insurance or carry to be submitted during the period required on the submission of the required documents in the award of contract. However, the effective date is on the effectivity of the contract. Latest income tax and business returns duly stamped and received by BIR and duly validated with the tax payments made. Tax clearance from the BIR to prove full and timely payment of taxes. For a local contractor, certification under oath stating that the contractor is free and clean of all tax liabilities. For a foreign bidder, for the summary,
Okay, you have heard the reminders for the prospective bidders during the opening of bids. And so, any more concerns? Wala na. So, this conference